Okay, geometry. So just a few things just to finish off the chapter. First of all, we can label points in two different ways. We can label them with lines. So we have the points X and the point Z. Note that they're in capital letters, and the line goes through the 2 points. So we can label that line, the line XZ, but we can also label it ZX. So we've labeled it in two different ways using points. But there's a second way you can label a line, and that's give the line a name. And we give it a name that's just simply a lowercase letter. So for example, that's the line H. Or on the next slide, these are the lines D, F, the lines J, and I've left the line H there. Now these lines have particular relationships between each other. So if we look at the ones on the left, these are two lines that will never meet. So this is a special case. If the lines D and F never meet, we call these parallel lines. The way we write that in maths is we use D with those parallel line symbols together, and then F, so D is parallel to F. That can also be written as F is parallel to D, so F, the double lines, and the D after it. In other words, just swap the D and the F, and it means the same thing. The ones on the right then, lines J and F. So basically, nearly all pairs of lines meet each other once and only once. The exception is the parallel lines on the left. If two lines are parallel, they don't meet. These ones are also supposed to represent a specific type of meeting. And when they cross, there are always going to be 4 angles. And this special case is when each of those 4 angles equals 90 degrees. So there's 4 right angles at the point of crossing. So above the point of intersection, below, left and right, all 90 degrees, we call these perpendicular lines. And the way we write that in maths is we put the 2 lines down on the page, and then we use the perpendicular symbol between them, which is that perpendicular that upside down T there. So J is perpendicular to H, and we could also swap the position of the J and the H to get H is perpendicular to J. Okay, 2 more different types of lines. Vertical lines are straight up and down. Horizontal lines are straight left and right. Okay, and the final things that we need to cover are labeling angles. So we're looking at the angle in by the point Z, the acute angle. If we're labeling that angle, we need to describe it with 3 points, where the middle point has to be the position where we're investigating the angle. So the middle one will be labeled Z. We also need to put down an angle symbol. So the angle symbol there looks like a greater than symbol, but the bottom line is horizontal. So it's not greater than, it means the angle. So the angle XZY, and like I said, the middle letter represents the point, or the angle at the point we're investigating. Now that's the same as having the angle YZX, because again we're looking at the middle letter to tell us where that angle is. Okay, some more examples. Remember, we need 3 points, and when we're labeling it, the angle that we're investigating, which is close to the point J, will have to be the middle letter. So we need the angle symbol, and then HJK is the angle we're looking at there because it's the angle at J. It can also be written as that. Finally, if you're looking to write down what is the size of the angle, so the size of the angle, we describe the angle and then we put 2 parallel lines outside it. And when we read this in maths, we read from outside to in. So it's the size of the angle between those parallel bars. Okay, so parallel lines mean the size, and then the angle XZY. So we're looking at the size of the angle XYZ. Again, the middle letter there tells us what point we need to look at. Of course, that can also be written like this. And then if we look at the one on the right, if we're looking for the size of the angle HJK, it's the same as the size of the angle KJH. That would be written like that.